Welcome to the ATA Podcast, where each month we bring you news and insights from the American Translators Association. Let's get started with a few quick announcements.
ATA is accepting nominations for the 2025 elections. The open seats are President-elect, Secretary, Treasurer, and Director. Any ATA member with active status is eligible to run, and self-nominations are permitted and encouraged. Elections will be held at the annual conference in October. Nominations must be received by March 28th. Learn more on the Board of Directors page at atanet.org. Book your room now for the ATA Annual Conference, October 22nd through the 25th. A limited number of rooms at the Westin Boston Seaport Hotel, the site of the conference, have been reserved at a discount for attendees. The special rates are available until September 29 or as space allows. Learn more at atanet.org/ATA66/hotel.
Welcome to the ATA podcast. Today we'll be speaking with Tony Guerra. He is a Spanish and English translator and interpreter with more than 20 years of experience. And as a native of Havana, Cuba, Tony has worked in-house and as a freelancer, both. He has served as an ATA board director and is currently the chair of the ATA's membership committee. Now, Tony, we last spoke on this podcast over a year ago about ATA membership benefits, but your committee has been so active since then, and we have so many new ATA members this year, that I thought it was worth revisiting the topic. So today we are going to talk about what's new out there and also what benefits are still ongoing for our members. So first of all, thank you, Tony, for joining me here today.
Well, thanks for having me, Andy. It's always a pleasure. And I also am very, very glad to have this opportunity because I think it's exciting. I think it's a constant challenge to make sure that people continue to recognize the value of their ATA membership and that we're always looking to make sure that it remains up to date and relevant with our industry.
So let's start with something for our brand new members, since, as I mentioned, this year we've had a lot of new members join us. So for the brand new ATA member, which benefits do you recommend that they check out first? What are some of the top level, most obvious ones that they should look into?
Wow. So there's so many, and I guess really, I think overall the most beneficial, or if you want to get to know ATA, I would recommend the Chronicle. First of all, it's our free publication, and it's a great place to start to get to know ATA. It has exceptional journalism. They offer in-depth knowledge of current and relevant topics from highly accomplished practitioner members in the industry. So you can't really go wrong with that. From that, I would say if you're a new member, you really need to look at the directory as well, because that is assuming that your membership is for professional development and representation. It's the single most important piece of public relations services offered. It's absolutely free, and it puts you out there, your profile, your accomplishments, your specialties. So I think that the Chronicle and the directory are critical as a first step in terms of the benefits. Now, the rest of the benefits, it really depends at what level or stage you are in your career. Maybe you're new to ATA, but not necessarily the profession. But assuming if you're a practitioner, that somewhere in there's a language specialty. So that would steer me to recommend divisions, because while we don't have every single language under the sun represented, the majority of languages are, and then we also have special interest groups. I know that.
Can you just, for the newcomers, explain quickly what a division is?
Okay, yeah, good point. Well, a division is it's a group brought together by a common language, say the Spanish language group or the medical division or the Spanish language division. So generally it tends to be by languages. And these have grown exponentially since ATA was established, each time expanding to accommodate And having been on the board, seeing the process of the approval process of um what it takes to mount a division to get one approved, because, for instance, we never had an AV division, audiovisual division, and that just in the last, I think, 10 years has become such a huge part of our industry that it made sense. And this group is incredibly active.
What about for longer term, more veteran ATA members? What are some of the benefits that sort of fly under the radar, even for people who've been with us for a long time?
Well, I think there are a lot of offshoots from, I think, for instance, the business practices groups. They have emails and chats that are um, where people share the latest issues and their experiences. And this is fascinating because it's global. So you might hear about and people in the states who are doing business abroad. So there's often a lot of talk about VAT, the taxes, or certain contracts that one is requested to sign. And I don't run into this myself, but it's always interesting to read just to keep up. Um, and it took me a long time. I've been a member for a while, and I was not aware of the volume of webinars, and especially the free monthly webinars. Some are for a fee, and they're more highly specialized topics, but it, it, just for the value of the membership cost, if you look at that every month, you can get a free webinar. It's kind of amazing, and I think people must know this, but there are discounts on financial services, liability insurance, software, education. The discount on the conference. Um, Also, there's something I'm very proud of as a as chair of the membership committee. Before I was chair, the committee did put out the ATA guide to starting out as a translator. This is relevant to either someone just coming out of school or maybe someone who has been a language teacher and wants to transition as a translator or enter the industry. And it's a business guide. It's not about language skills. And currently, myself and several other interpreters in the membership committee are working on the ATA guide to starting out as an interpreter. And these are free. It will be soon available in PDF. We've been working on it for about 2 years. It's quite a process, but I'm very excited, and I think that's uh, something that people may not be aware of, but it's uh, to me, uh, I was so impressed by the work done on the translator uh, guide that I want the interpreting one to be just as um, um, comprehensive and informative and very up to date. And our industry is changing so quickly that from when we started to now, especially in the technology piece, it's the inclusion of AI, whereas is playing a much larger role now than we ever imagined 2 years ago. So that's become so I'm very excited about it.
It sounds like the ATA is being very proactive about keeping up with changing times
Absolutely.
and what's going on out there.
Yeah. I always say, and it's so true. The interpreter that I am today, I am because of ATA, because I could not keep up with all of the changes and remain relevant. And I think that's what keeps me coming back, what keeps me really involved. It's very exciting, really.
So, what are the some of the most popular member benefits that people tend to utilize the most?
I would say the divisions. I'm, just looking at the numbers, and the largest division right now is the Spanish language division. I think there's over 3,000, and closely behind was also uh, about 3,000 something is the medical division, because you have both translators and interpreters. So that gives you an idea of, I mean, if you look at the entire volume of membership, I think we're up to 8,000 something now. That represents a good chunk. And I think there's a lot of overlap, like myself, Spanish, medical, legal. So yeah. And then I would say, also some of the other uh, divisions, the government division, the legal, and they're also specialized. They're not as numerous, but I think very relevant. I think that, for instance, the language and technology division is a very quickly growing, and I mentioned the audiovisual as well. So these have come up just as these elements in our industry have become more prominent and more necessary. Uh, and I'm just so impressed with the leadership, with the commitment of everyone. All of these, I think I shouldn't assume that everyone knows, but everything is voluntary. It's volunteer based, except for headquarters. You and I, right here, right now, it's volunteer. So it's so impressive, but it's really rewarding. It's really worth it.
So, one program that I don't hear talked about much is the mentoring program, which people think of as being maybe for beginners, but it's not, right? It's for people at any stage in their career.
It's absolutely true. Anyone that's looking maybe to start a new vertical, say you've always um, worked as a medical interpreter and you think that maybe you would like to begin working as a legal interpreter, what steps do you need to take to have a mentor? I always, having been the chair of the mentoring committee, it is a program that's very close to my heart, and I think it's incredibly effective and meaningful. Um, I have seen, not, I don't want to say just through the, prior to being chair, the mentor mentee pairings that I have helped to create, but also ones that I participated in. It's lives have been changed. And people don't realize that this is free. I always compare it to, if you wanted to start a business and hire a consultant to help you launch, and be a kind of a mentor or a guide for you, what you would have to pay monthly to get someone to help you achieve your goal. And here it is free. Now, what we try to do is help people come up with realistic goals. We don't, many people, we've heard people be disappointed. Oh, I wanted someone to help me pass the ATA certification exam. Mm, that's not really what we're about. It's really about, it's under the business practices. Um, that and the mastermind. The mastermind is a nice sister program to the mentoring. The mentoring is one-on-one, where one person guides the other, but it's really expected that the mentee really take the initiative and take responsibility. It's not about hand-holding. The mastermind is about a peer group, people in um, who are in a similar state in their careers or their pursuits, that share a common objective. Um, and I have not yet participated in the masterminds, but it's definitely something that is uh, brilliant. It has great results, and it just builds on the sense of community and mutual support. And I think that's so valuable. So I think these programs are really, really worth checking out. All that information is available on the web, and we have little mini videos that introduce them. So really worth checking out.
So, what about this is not exactly a member benefit specifically that one has to pay for, but I know the ATA is very active in PR, advocating for the translation and interpretation industry as a whole. They are out there speaking to our elected representatives, even. Can you tell us
Yes.
about that? So, I mean, ATA is
Yeah,
out there working for people who are not even part of our, are not paying members.
that's exactly right. Because it's part of our mission statement to advocate for the industry. So I call these behind the scenes benefits. Many members are unaware because it's not something that they are signing up for. Um, However, all of them are volunteer based. So we have the PR committee, which it's about public perception and education of the public, uh, client education. Um, on the other side, we have the ATA advocacy committee that's more about coordinated government lobbying, and that's very powerful. We have the ethics committee. It's about member representation, especially for commercial grievances. And then, of course, we have our membership committee that reviews, evaluates, and looks at the value and the relevance of ATA memberships. Um, and we also recommend improvements and tweaking. So I'm also uh, very pleased that the board recently added two categories of membership uh, possibilities. One is called transitional for students or recent graduates, um, and it's available within 365 days of graduation. And the second category is members in the same household. So ATA is looking for ways to be more inclusive, to be really looking at how we can really best serve our members in a number of ways. And I can't underemphasize enough. I can't emphasize enough. Sorry, the value of the conference. Uh, and each year it's coming up. Do I really feel like flying out there? And it's taking time off from working, earning money, and
Oh, I'm the
spending
opposite.
money.
I'm a translator, so I sit in my room all day. I don't see people. I live
Oh,
for the conference every
oh,
year.
well, but each, and I tell you, it just gets better for me. Maybe it's just my level of, um, especially with so much going on and so many things changing. I feel so enriched. It's almost like overstimulated, but it's so very valuable that I always am always very glad that I attended.
And to be clear, to our listeners, that's not exactly a member benefit. I mean, you get a discount on registration if you're a member, but anybody can attend. It's
That's
open to
right.
the public. So if you're interested in attending, please feel free. There are registration options for one day only and maybe 2 days only as well.
Yep.
So if you can only do part of it, that's fine. You'll still
Yeah.
get lots of the benefits, meet a lot of people, get to see a lot of the sessions.
And you get to see Boston this coming year.
And you get to see Boston.
Yes. So I'm especially thrilled this year because I actually qualified for a new category in my membership status. I have now become a life membership of 20 consecutive years. Uh,
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Now you
Thank
can
you.
never leave us.
Right, right. Why would I? It's again, it's so rewarding. And now that I have this discounted rate, it's uh it's all the more reason.
Excellent. Well, Tony, thank you for speaking with me today and talking about the ATA, my little pet topic. I love talking about it. And hopefully we'll talk again in the future.
Absolutely, Andy. Thanks for having me, and thanks for taking the time out to host this and for everything that you do. Really, it's fantastic. Have a wonderful day.
That's a wrap. To learn more about the American Translators Association, including how to join, visit atanet.org. Until next time.